Good morning. It's another chilly morning here. It's what happens when you let the fire go out. This morning I have a thought that came to me that I would like to share with you. A tuba is not flawed because it lacks a soaring sweetness, nor a flute for its lack of a belly-deep drone. I really like that saying, that idea, because in this world, everybody has their expectations of how things should be, and we grow up with those expectations being put on us. And, we don't fit. We don't all fit that. And when we don't fit, as children, we get this idea that we are flawed in some way, that we are less than perfect, that we are, that there's something fundamentally wrong with us. And the problem is that goes in on such a deep fundamental level that it just becomes how we perceive life and how we perceive ourselves, and we just think that's the way it is. And then we develop all of these coping mechanisms and defense patterns to try to protect ourselves from that awareness of ourselves as flawed. So it's ironic because in that way we develop all these other flaws and problems which are basically evolved to hide from us the fundamental flaw that we think we have that's not even a flaw. It's just we're different people. This is particularly true if you are a highly sensitive person or an empath or different in any way on the Asperger's spectrum or autism spectrum, or, there are so many ways we can be different, but all of those, especially those that bring out our sensitivity or our gentleness or our introspectiveness and, things that aren't valued in our society. What's valued in the society is intellect, logic, rationalization, ego, mundane level thinking like materialism. And for those of us who came in with a different program and a different purpose, we probably, most of us got as children the message that there's something really wrong with us, and we don't fit, we don't belong, this is not our planet. Does any of that sound familiar to you? I think that probably most of the people watching this video have similar experiences because, frankly, you wouldn't be watching this if you weren't one of us. One of us who kind of feel like this planet is so fundamentally wrong for us. I'd like to just leave you with a bit of encouragement on that. The earth that we inherited is absolutely wrong for us and absolutely not our home. But we came here on purpose to make this planet a place where our kind lives. In other words, we are here for the transformation that's going on, this shift of ages into the spiritual golden age that's coming, we've already, dipped our toes into. we're here to transform the planet, to make it a place where it's beautiful for heartfelt people. It's beautiful for sensitives. It's beautiful for everyone. You know, if a sensitive is safe in this world, then anyone is safe in this world. And that's what we're here to do. And that's why we came to a place that doesn't feel like home, to make it more like home. I mean, home is where our soul lives. At some deep level, we all know that this is not our home. There's always that longing, right? And at the same time, this is where we're camping for a while, and we're settling in, and we're making it home. So what happens when a flute is raised to believe that it should be a tuba, or a tuba is raised to believe it should be a flute? Then neither learns to sing its own song. A tuba can only do the most flawed version of fluteness, and vice versa. It would be very unsatisfying to both the instrument and everyone hearing it. The tuba and the flute can't bring their unique and special and beautiful gifts to the world if they're trying to be something other than they are. And that was my thought for the day, is how can we be more of who we are and honor that, and not only in ourselves but in each other. This came up for me today because I was working on a book this morning, not intending to, sometimes I'm meditating and the ideas just start coming, and an idea for a book started to come through. And as the background for it, I started to list the programs that I had received as a child, and the life training that I needed that I didn't get as a child, and that sort of thing. And frankly, got really bored with that really quickly. I guess I'm just past that stage now, and I'm more interested in what's going to uplift and awaken me than in looking back at what I didn't get, sort of thing. But one of the things that came up in that process was this thought that, I was really raised in a way that didn't even consider honoring who I was or how I was different. And how that impacted my ability to move forward into my mission in life, which is to help bring about this shift of ages, to, as I call it, midwife the rebirth of the goddess into the world, bring back the divine feminine, the heart-centered values that we've been missing for so long. And for a long time, I really thought that was in my way of all kinds of things, like not just my life mission, which I don't even know if I was clear on at the time, but my life well-being, my health and my mental health and my emotional health and my success and, everything. And in a way it was true. And in another way, it was my training ground. I could not be doing the work that I'm doing now to the depth and level and ability to help other people that I have now. I couldn't have had that if my family had given me what I needed. I often I often used to say that I learned everything on my own. I came with nothing, no training in anything, and except for, anger and hatred and blame and that kind of thing, powerlessness. Everything else I learned, as my spouse says, on the streets. Everything else I taught myself from scratch. And that was a really long, hard process. And I often bemoaned the fact that I had to do it that way. But now, from the other side, I can see that if I hadn't taught myself all of these things from the ground up, like from the very foundation, I would not have the skills to share those with you and ideally make your journey and other people's journey easier. I learned it all the hard way so that you don't have to, kind of thing. So that at least other people, maybe not you, but whoever can find some insight and inspiration in the tools and practices that I've developed to be able to do all of these things. That's what it was for. That's what all my suffering was for and all my hard work was for. And it's so worth it now. I'm so happy and I feel so honored to be able to inspire people and help people with these things that I think are really important, that feel like so core and invaluable to me. So I guess we have a twofold version today. It's a celebration of our uniqueness as well as of others' uniqueness. And on top of that, honoring that the lacks we had as children and the traumas and the programs we had to overcome as children have all been for a benefit. And even if we don't know what that benefit is yet, someday, maybe not even until we pass into our true home, will we know, but someday we'll know that this was all on purpose and was all perfect. And it was all for the best possible result. So, where does that leave us today? What shall our practice be? I guess see if you can't honor the uniqueness that the world denigrates. Whatever it is in you that you got the message wasn't okay, somewhere, somehow, that is a gift, a talent, or the gateway to the gift that you can bring to the world. So I think that's sufficient as a practice, because I was thinking that maybe we should take that out and honor other people's. But it starts in us, and it's so easy for many of us to focus on honoring others and celebrating others and not ourselves. And it actually all starts with us. Until we can really honor ourselves, we can't truly, to the full depth of ourselves, honor others. So let's just start there. And realize that your special gifts all come from those things that you may have been told were your flaws. So we're going to reframe those today. And please let me know how it goes and any insights that came from this talk or from your practice. And have a really wonderful time with that. It's very, very healing. So I wish you well with that, and I will see you again tomorrow. Blessed be.